This is the first asana video for the summer series. I hope at this point you've been through the spring series because it is preparing you for some of the things we're going to do. If you're new to KMK, please go back and do the spring series once, and ideally, maybe twice a week for like week 1, do all 3 asana, pranayama, meditation twice. Separate them out 2 or 3 days apart, and then you'll be ready for what we're going to do in the summer series. So the summer series is all about interoception. Interoception is one of the 8 senses. That probably surprises you if you think there were only 5. Touch, smell, hearing, sight, and taste. But there's 3 more. And those are the 3 that really emphasize somatic awareness. And I believe that yoga is designed to promote somatic awareness that leads to meditation, leads to change, leads to nervous system regulation. So the 6th, 7th, and 8th senses are interoception, vestibular sense, and proprioception. So I'll tell you what the other 2 are, but we're going to do those most probably in fall and winter. I'll start with proprioception, which is where you are in space. Just to be ability to close your eyes and know where you are, including in odd positions. We're going to have fun with that in the fall. And another one is vestibular, which refers to your inner ear, where your body is interacting between the outside world and the inside world to maintain your balance. That's what the vestibular system does. And then there's interoception. Interoception is the ability to sense what's going on inside your body. Now, sometimes that's divided up into musculoskeletal and then visceral or organs. But the best data, you can find it on a link on the website, combines those 2 because there really isn't a distinct sensation that's different in terms of the way it's appropriated. So we're going to talk about interoception, and we're going to use my favorite tool, the breath. So let's get started with some breath-aware somatic sensation yoga. It's not really called that. I just made that up. And so, find yourself in that good seat again. Sits bones are on the front edge of the chair. Thighs are free. My knees are directly over my heels. And my feet are positioned in line with my thighs. Find that seat and then give a little pull with the feet to change the pelvic angle so you're a little higher, little longer. But we don't want to achieve that by sticking out the ribs. This is a good point to talk about this because we'll be talking about it throughout the summer series. If you put your fingers under your front ribs, most of us can with a little effort, and then bring them to where you can't, back up just a little bit to where you can't get your fingers underneath, that is a proper lordotic curve, a proper curve to your upper back that then lets the cervical curve move. We want the pelvis forward and the ribs soft. So we're in position. You've pulled with your feet to angle your pelvis. Your ribs are tucked. Neck is long. Take a long, gentle inhale that makes you a little taller. And on exhale, soften anywhere you hold tension. Bring your attention to the breath moving through your nose. No special breath, just feel it. Feel the cool air going in. Feel the warm air leaving. With your next exhale, notice one nostril is cooler than the other. Shift your focus to your throat. Feel the air going through your throat as you breathe. Cool on inhale. Warm on exhale. And then the chest. You won't be able to feel the temperatures in the chest unless you're in a really cold place, which is not a great place to practice yoga. But you can feel the expansion. Feel how your chest moves with breath. Belly. Feel how belly moves with breath. And the last spot is that little triangle between the bottom of your breastbone and your navel. You can lay your hand across here to feel the diaphragm. Go down on inhale, up on exhale. If you can feel it without your hand, that's interoception. Pretty cool. So whichever way you need to do it, respect that and watch your diaphragm go up and down. And then watch your body breathe, meaning feel what's moving when as you breathe from nose to tailbone, from tailbone to nose. All of the torso participates in breath. So follow that path. And if your eyes were closed for that practice, you can bring them back open again. That's our simple breath awareness practice. You can use that anytime you need to just sort of soothe and smooth out. Give that a go. So let's begin by making sure that our arms and upper back and neck are pretty happy. We're going to let our arms come down. Remember, not hunched and not military posture. Somewhere halfway in between. And halfway in between is where my ribs are tucked. I don't think that's a coincidence. So exhale here. Turn your palms forward. Slowly inhale up. Gently exhale down. You've done this before. So just a couple at your own pace. Pause the recording. Do as many as you need to really warm up and wake up your shoulders and arms, and then come back for the next part. Okay, let's go wide and make sure our backs are happy. When I go wide, the line of my thigh points to the space, and my knee points to the space between my second and third toe. That's what's safest for the knees. But just give a little check that your thigh points and kneecap points right to that spot between second and third toe. And then make sure your knee and heel are lined up. So we're going to inhale here. And on exhale, stay straight as long as you can without sticking those ribs out. And when you can't go any farther, down you come. Bring your attention to the low belly. And on inhale, feel the low back rise a little bit. And on exhale, soften that low belly so that you're stretching away from the tailbone along the spine. Bring your attention to the upper belly as you inhale. And on exhale, soften down and feel that pull, that stretch go up to your ribs. Bring your attention to chest as you inhale. And on exhale, relax, soften chest muscles. Let your stretch extend up through your neck and into your head. Let your head hang freely. Remember, coming up from a position where the head is lower than the heart, we want to get a big breath on board first. So big inhale here. Big exhale. Then press down with the feet and hands, and up you come on inhale. Take a moment to notice how you feel. I'm going to turn my chair around. If you're clever, you've probably set yourself up so that you can work from any position. But I'm sort of tied to that camera, so I'm going to turn my chair around so I can spread my mat out. Remember, I'm still going to mention the safety tips every time. You want a sturdy chair that has some weight because you don't want that chair going anywhere at all. You never want the chair to move. So that's the safest kind of chair you can have. Next, we're going to do the warm-up that I use for almost everything. And that's forward bend, lunge, and rock. You'll remember it in a moment. Inhale here. And stick the bottom out as you exhale down. Hold on and keep coming down until you can't move anymore. And then soften there. Let's put the arms in this time and inhale up without sticking the ribs out. And then stick the bottom out as you exhale down. Inhale up. We're going to add the lunge this time from the spring series. You know how to make this transition. So we're going to exhale down. Always take a moment to soften completely when you come into forward bend. From any position, you use forward bend to give yourself a little stretch. Shift your weight onto your right foot, bend the left foot, and throw it back. Shoulders are away from ears. Your knee comes forward over top of your heel. Back leg stays straight. Inhale here. And on exhale, lie on your front thigh and straighten that front leg as much as you can while you exhale. This is the rock part. You'll see why in a moment if you don't remember. Inhale. Chest comes up, face comes up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. To come out of this, you'll remember we bend the back leg and jump to place the foot where it was and come down again into forward bend. From here, I inhale up, exhale down, hold on, soften into that forward bend, shift your weight onto the left foot, bend the right, and throw that foot back. Shoulders are away from ears, knee comes over heel, chest and face come up. That's your inhale. Exhale, lay on your thigh as you're straightening the front leg. That's your exhale. Inhale starts here and opens. And then exhale comes down. If I was ready to come out of it, I would bend the back leg and jump in. And then come down and inhale up. Exhale, arms down. So, if you need to watch that again, do. If you want to pause now and try a few more than what I did, that would be a good idea because this is really the warming portion. The Facebook lunge rock is one of the best warm-ups I use in yoga. So do a couple. Do 2 or 3 on one side, come out of it, do the other side, do 2 or 3. That's the best way to warm up for what we're doing next. So pause the video here and try a couple on your own, but even it up. If you do 2 on one side, do 2 on the other side. And when you come back, you know I'm going to ask you to notice. So give that a try. The next pose we're doing is something we did not do in spring. It's new for the summer series. So I want you to remember to be compassionate and curious, but not push beyond what you're able to do. And a little secret about the summer series, we'll have whole classes devoted to breath, and this is one of them. So let's give it a try, okay? Part of it you already know. So I'm coming in close. Exhale down, inhale, exhale down, hold on, and come all the way down as far as you gently can with your legs still straight. Then come up halfway. Now, if you're having any trouble with the chair, there's an alternative, which is to not be as close as we're used to being. You can try it this way. You can try it that way. You can try it this way. I haven't figured out if I'm bumping the back of the chair because I'm tall or because that's the mechanics of the pose. You all can tell me about that in some comments later. So I'm going to inhale here. Exhale down, forward bend. Stick that butt out. Down you come. Soften and release. Then we're going to inhale to a half position. Arms are straight. Exhale back down. Inhale up. 1 or 2 more of those will probably do it. You can pause here and try a few of them, and we'll come back for the fun part. So warm up with that for a few, and then we'll do the breath portion. So take a moment, notice how that felt, because we're sort of stacking our poses so that what you do impacts what you do next. It prepares you for what you do next. If you didn't enjoy that, you might not be able to do what we're doing next. I want you to be really kind to yourselves, please. Ahimsa, 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 no harm. So I'm going to inhale here. Stick the butt out, exhale down, hold on and go all the way down. Here, I'm going to take a full inhale without lifting up again. Full exhale. Notice the mechanics of breath in your chest as you do this. Do another one. Inhale. Exhale. With your next inhale, come up to the straight arm position. That's your inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Noticing your chest. Exhale. One more. And then come all the way down to inhale your way back up. When you try that on your own, I want you to really pay attention to how the inhale and exhale feels different in the forward bend position compared to the straight arm position, which is sort of a modification of table pose. We're not kneeling, but our torso and arms are in the same position. So notice how the angle of the torso changes how you experience the inhale and how you experience the softening of exhale. Please pause and give that a few tries on your own, and remember to notice so that you can answer when we come back. So, how did that go for you? What was it like? Which was more difficult? Which took a little more effort? Of course, that means which one was easier, which one took less effort. See how that went for you in your body. I have one more pose for you in the asana class for today. And for that, we're going to come down to the floor. So I'm close to my chair and I'm going to hold on just like forward bend. Bring one knee down, bring the other knee down, and then off to one side. One hand is here, one hand is down, and I use both supports to get me down to the floor without angling, without putting strain on any one part of the body. So this is the same pose that we did in spring. We're going to add it to the pose. So the best way to come down to lying on the floor is the same way we get up, which is come to a side lying position, then roll on your back. Let me know how that works for you, please. So the first thing I want is for my back to be as comfortable as possible. So for that purpose, I'm bringing one knee over my chest. My fingers are in the knee crease. You'll see it better on this side. Then I bring the other one up, fingers in the knee crease. I can rock back and forth to get my lumbar spine flat. And then I bring one foot down and also the other. I still have a curve here. I'm meant to have a curve here, but it's not so accented. It's not exaggerated. So let's walk those feet together. Spread the arms out in a T position with the palms down. This is your neutral position. If this is comfortable, then you can move on to do the next part we're going to do. If it's not, send me a question and I'll help you find a more comfortable way to get into this position. So we imagine that our knees and feet are sort of glued together because we don't want them to slide away from each other. We inhale here and exhale down. Soften belly. Inhale back up. Exhale down to the other side. Soften belly. Inhale back up. I'd like you to pause the video and try a few of those just to make sure that your hips and legs are nice and warm. This is a twist. It involves the whole torso. So do a few to make sure you're comfortable, and then we'll put some other stuff in. So give that a try. So notice how you feel. Again, this is incremental. If that was uncomfortable for you, please don't do things that are uncomfortable. Ask questions, try it a different way. Let me know if I can help. But if that was comfortable for you, let's go on to doing some breath stays in this position. You're going to be very familiar with the breath directions I'm giving you because you know them pretty well from spring. Inhale here. Exhale down to one side. Soften your belly. Focus on your low belly as you inhale. Soften low belly in the same position. Focus on upper belly as you inhale. And then soften. Upper belly. Focus on chest. And on exhale, soften. Notice what happens, particularly in the chest. Notice what happens to the arm that you're turned away from, the shoulder and arm. Let's do that one more time. Inhale into the chest. And on exhale, soften chest, shoulder, and in this case, my left arm. There's one more. Inhale one more time. Focus on neck. And on exhale, soften. Notice which way your head wants to go when the neck is soft. And then with your next inhale, you might need to push down with this hand that's on the side where the legs are lowered. Your mileage will vary, but you can if you need to. So we've exhaled, and we're going to inhale back up again. If you were watching that one, I suggest you try the next one along with me. Then we'll pause, and you can do once to both sides again on your own. So inhale here. Exhale down to the other side. For me, soften belly. Did you hear that little snap, crackle, pop? That always feels like the spine is just sort of, happy for a moment. So focus on low belly, long, gentle inhale. And then as you exhale, let low belly, hips soften. You might move a little more deeply into the pose. Upper belly, focus on the upper belly as you inhale. And on exhale, soften the middle portion of your torso. Then chest. Inhale, fill the chest. And on exhale, soften chest, shoulder, arm, hand. Bring your attention to the neck. And on exhale, soften. Notice where the head wants to go. Then press down with the hand, if you need it, on the same side where the legs are lowered, and inhale back up. Pause your video and try a couple of those, and very gently, soft breaths. Really notice how you can relax more deeply into the twist using your breath as a tool. Try that and be sure to notice. And we're back again. So first, notice. Where are you feeling warm? Does anything feel tingly? Does anything feel softer? Those are all pretty much positive noticing things. Did anything feel sharp? Did anything feel burny? Did anything feel uncomfortable? Notice those things. Notice, notice, notice. Keep a constant, almost line of communication open with your body, especially while you're doing yoga. So we're going to do a really gentle counter pose to finish up this asana segment. So you're still on your backs, I imagine. If you're not, please come back down to flat on your back with knees bent and feet flat. We're going to bring one knee over the chest. Fingers are in the knee crease. Always. Almost always. I shouldn't say always. And then the other one, fingers in the knee crease. Rock a little back and forth. And then you'll remember from spring that there are 3 positions for this easy pose. It actually has the nickname easy pose. Knees together, feet together, and inhale as the knees go away from the chest. Your arms are your brakes. And then slow, gentle inhale. Let the hips do the work. And when you get as far as you can go with gravity, give a little hug. That's choice number 1. Choice number 2 is about hip width apart. Inhale away, hip width apart. And then with the slowest, softest exhale you can manage, the hips bring the knees closer and you give a little hug. That was the second choice. Third choice is wider than your hips, wider than your torso. Inhale away. And exhale in. Give a little pull. One of the three of those probably gave you the stretch that felt the best. I suggest you pause the video, choose the one that felt the best, and do as many as you need to until there's just no joy in it anymore. And then come back and I'll ask you to notice. So, notice what the hips are doing. Notice how your arms feel. Notice whatever's trying to get your attention. And I'm going to remind you how we get up from the floor. We start with knees and feet together, rolling over onto the right side. Almost everybody uses the right side. The arm is wrapped around the head. From here, I put this hand down. My chest is now leaning forward so this hand can come down. Both hands are flat, and I just walk them up. Stay here for a minute, though, because going from lying for, maybe 5 minutes you were down there, to coming up means your head is now higher than your heart, and you can feel a sort of rush of blood. So give a sympathetic breath, which is a decent inhale here, to make sure that you don't get dizzy. From here, we sort of reverse what we were going to do to get down here. So I come up on my knees, if you can, and then come in, one hand on the chair, second hand on the chair, bring one foot in, toes go under, and I'm up. I hope you enjoyed this asana practice and that you go on to do the summer series pranayama number 1 to follow, and then follow that with summer series meditation number 1. They all go together, and I hope you enjoy it. Please leave comments. Thank you.